What if I told you that 5 women completely changed the law with absolutely nothing but courage and, well, integrity?
Welcome to this explainer. We live in a world where it frequently feels like power, influence, and results, well, they only belong to the loudest, most aggressive voices in the room. But the source material we're unpacking today, it tells a totally different story. We're looking at this fascinating historical narrative that proves true integrity can accomplish what manipulation, anger, and deceit just never could. We're going to see exactly how choosing the honorable path, even when the system is totally stacked against you, can literally rewrite the rules. It's called the inheritance of integrity.
So, Section 1, an unfair inheritance law.
To really understand this dilemma, we've got to travel all the way back to the time of Moses, right as the Israelites are actively preparing to enter the Promised Land. And right in the middle of this massive historical migration, a profound, extremely personal legal crisis pops up for 5 sisters. Their names are Mala, Noah, Hogla, Milcah, and Tirzah. Let's actually take a second to honor their names here, because they were staring down the barrel of a devastating reality, the complete and total erasure of their family's legacy.
Now, the specific nature of their problem was just a biological reality, completely outside of their control. Their father, a guy named Zelophehad, had died, and he didn't leave behind any sons. Under the super rigid inheritance customs of that era, land and legacy were passed exclusively from father to son, no exceptions. So without a male heir, their father's family line was about to lose its claim to their inheritance entirely. And here's why this is so deeply unfair. Zelophehad hadn't rebelled. He hadn't committed some terrible crime that justified his family being stripped of their land. No, he simply only had daughters. And because of that one fact, their entire family legacy was about to evaporate.
Moving on to Section 2, the path of integrity.
Put yourself in their shoes for a second. Imagine you're these sisters facing a systemic injustice where the rules of your society essentially dictate that you lose everything. You stand at a massive crossroads. They could have taken the easy, dishonorable shortcuts, right? They could have accepted it in silence or complained bitterly in their tents, basically the ancient equivalent of venting on social media. They could have tried to manipulate the system or maybe sparked a reckless, angry confrontation, accusing the leadership of corruption. But no. Instead, they chose the honorable pursuit. They approached Moses and the assembly respectfully. They presented a highly logical case and honored their community. They chose the much harder but far more powerful path of integrity. They stood before the absolute highest leaders of their community. No shouting, no insults, and simply asked this really profound question: why should our father's name disappear? They pointed out the flaw in the system, not by seeking to exploit some sneaky loophole or trying to steal land from another family, but by rooting their request entirely in fairness. Their goal was just pure justice. They just wanted to preserve their dad's legacy.
All right, Section 3, redefining true integrity.
I kind of want to pause the historical narrative right here for a minute because the sisters' approach fundamentally challenges how we modern folks understand integrity. We often think integrity just means, not lying, or maybe just passively taking it when life deals you a really bad hand. But the source text expands this beautifully. Integrity is pursuing what is right in the right way. It's actively refusing to compromise your moral principles, even when circumstances are incredibly unfair to you. The sisters basically proved that being a person of integrity doesn't mean you just sit back and accept injustice. It means you actually have the courage to challenge that unfairness, but you do it while completely maintaining your honor. Let's get to Section 4, a legacy-changing verdict. Okay, let's jump back into the story. The sisters have just delivered their totally airtight argument for justice. The tension in the assembly must be palpable as they challenge the status quo. So what happens next? Well, we see a tragic catalyst, a father dying without sons, lead to a crucial action, the respectful petition to Moses. And this triggers the climax. Moses takes the matter directly to God, and God completely affirms their claim, declaring the sisters are absolutely right. Which leads us to the final event. God instructs that the inheritance laws be permanently adjusted so that daughters can inherit when there are no sons. The law was changed forever. Just take a second and think about the sheer magnitude of that. Because they chose the honorable path, their own personal concern established a broader principle of fairness for the entire community. They were really just trying to save their own dad's legacy, but by doing it the right way, they created a blessing for countless future generations of women who would eventually find themselves in the exact same situation. Now that is the exponential power of integrity. Which brings us to Section 5, integrity in today's world.
So how does a legal dispute from literally thousands of years ago translate to our lives today? Because let's be honest with ourselves, we all still face unfair systems, unjust workplace policies, crazy bureaucratic red tape, and situations where the rules just seem totally rigged against us. And when we face that kind of resistance today, our modern temptations are super strong. We're tempted to exaggerate the facts to make our case look better. We're tempted to spread rumors, manipulate the emotions of the crowd, or, personally attack the character of the people enforcing the rules. Why? Because it feels faster. It feels like it might actually work in the short term. But the text reminds us that these dishonest methods almost always end up creating far more harm and division than they ever actually solve. Instead, the source provides us with an incredibly practical, modern blueprint for integrity. It's basically 3 steps to follow when fighting for fairness. Number 1, speak truthfully. Don't exaggerate. Number 2, act respectfully. Don't burn the whole building down just because you're angry. And number 3, seek honorable solutions. Solutions that don't just benefit you, but actually honor the core principles of your community. Following this blueprint preserves the absolute most valuable thing you possess, your moral credibility.
And it's so vital to remember here. Respectful advocacy is not weakness. In our modern culture, respect is so often mistaken for surrender, isn't it? We kind of think if we aren't yelling, we aren't fighting. But Mala, Noah, Hogla, Milcah, and Tirzah proved that boldness and respect can completely coexist. It takes immense courage to step forward into an uncertain outcome, especially in a society where you aren't the ones in power, and hold your ground without becoming toxic or destructive.
Which brings us to the ultimate question we all have to ask ourselves. The next time you find yourself staring down an incredibly unfair situation, whether that's at your job, in your community, or hey, even in your own family, how will you respond? Are you going to compromise your values and give in to anger and manipulation just to get what you want? Or will you choose the harder, nobler path? Will you choose the path of integrity? I want to leave you with this final, truly powerful quote directly from our source text. Integrity transforms a personal challenge into a lasting legacy. The 5 sisters showed us that doing what is right in the right way doesn't just solve your problem today, it actually opens doors for others tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. The next time you face a rigged system, I hope you'll remember the Daughters of Zelophehad. Will you settle for a dishonorable shortcut, or will you build a legacy of integrity?